Hey guys, I'm filming on my M6 Mark II, and I just ordered finally, after all this time, I've had this lens for a while, but I just ordered the 11 to 22 EFM lens for this. And I gotta tell you, I bought this thing, and it's been my I'd always planned when I bought it to use it like a vlogging lens, right? And then as I acquired more and more cameras, I felt guilty about having so many cameras, to the point where I was almost going to give this thing away, basically, sell it dirt cheap. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, what are you doing? Because honestly, I have a bunch of full frame cameras, but I have nothing to fit the APS-C niche right now, which this would fill. Now, I don't plan on, even though this is a very capable photography camera, I don't plan on using mine like that. I plan on using it for this, vlogging. Like, it came with the 15 to 45 kit lens, and I'm going to get the 11 to 22 EFM lens for it. And, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, why get rid of it? I got it at a fantastic deal when I bought it. I bought it 2020 on Black Friday, and I got the whole kit. I got the M6 Mark II with the 15 to 45 kit lens and the DC2 EVF, and it was $849. I thought it was $899, but it was actually $849 for the whole thing, and that was the Black Friday deal. And so I snagged it back then, and I've used it a little bit. Like, I've got a time lapse on my channel I did with it, but I haven't been using it a lot lately, and it's a great little camera. So I was debating, like I said, getting rid of it. And the more I thought about it, the more it just doesn't make any sense. First of all, if you sell on eBay, the fees they charge now in PayPal charges, you're going to lose your shirt. If you sell it that way, you're just going to, you might say, oh, wow, I might do some money. By the time you pay your fees, you know what I mean? You're not going to make much. So I know I could sell it local or sell it Facebook Marketplace, but I just, I haven't done that. I've still got the camera. Here we are in late November 2022, and I've still got the camera. So I could, I was thinking about this, like, versus the R10 and the R7, which are great cameras. But as of right now, they don't have any RF lenses that are really like this, super small like this. Like, this is super lightweight. This whole setup with these little EFM lenses is really, really small. I've got the 10 to 18 EFS lens. I've got the adapter that goes with this too. I got a great deal on that too, by the way. But and I had been using that, and I finally decided to pull out the 15. I've had this in the box, the 15 to 45, and this is a great little lens. I used it when I first got it, and then I started using my 10 to 18 I had sitting around. And though I like the 10 to 18, the more I thought about it, I wanted the little lens of the 11 to 22, which is made for this camera. You know what I mean? So I wanted it to be small, compact, and that's how you're going to get that, is with the EFM lenses. And I always have the adapter, like, if I want to go with a faster lens, because the only problem with the 11 to 22, much like the 10 to 18, is it's an f4 to 5.6, so it's not the fastest lens. Like, right now, I'm testing this with I have a Mkii panel mini that I bought a while ago. This thing is outstanding. It's adjustable. It goes all the way from 1% to 100. You can adjust it. The battery lasts forever, especially the less power you put out. And it comes with a diffuser, to put on it, and it's just a great. And of course, it comes with the to put it in your hot shoe adapter. So everything's there. What I'm saying is the package is complete. You don't have to buy anything. And I'm testing that out right now. It's doing an amazing job. I've got it on, I think, 30%, maybe 40. I don't even need that because it's bright. As you can see, I'm squinting a little. It's bright. I could probably turn it down, but I'll just leave it the way it is right now. I got the Kelvin matched in the camera, 3200 to the light. I set the light at 3200 too. But, I thought about it with, like I said, the R10 and the R7. I wasn't going to get the R7 because I've got so many cameras now. I've got an R3, an R5C, the R6, gave an R5 to my son. I don't need any more expensive cameras, you know, and this one has already long been bought and paid for, like my other cameras. You know, I don't owe anything on it, so why replace it? I mean, what am I really good? Like the R10, for instance, great camera. That's a great little camera. It is for the money. It's a great little camera, especially right now. It's going for $879 body only. But lenses, right now, you know, if I was going to buy one though right now, I'd probably buy it and just use EFS lenses, which you can do. But being that I already own this, it just doesn't make sense to me, for me either, because I've got this, and this has got the 32.5 sensor, the same one that's in the, well, the one that's in the R7 they say is a new iteration of this, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, it's the same thing. The only difference is this has the Digic 8 processor and those have the Digic 10. They're both great cameras, but I just don't need them. I've got all these full frame cameras, so I'd only be using them for vlogging. And the R7 would be, I think, a little expensive for me right now anyways, to justify when I've got this one, just to vlog with, because like I can't see me using them for anything else because I already feel guilty. I don't use my full frame, I don't use my cameras enough, period, any of my cameras. So I already feel guilty, you know? So if I buy one of them, I'd be even more guilty. So anyways, I decided not to do that, not to get the R10, because I have this, and this is a great camera. This shoots 4K, for those of you that don't know. It's the M6 Mark II. It shoots 4K up to 30 frames a second, 24 and 30 frames a second. It shoots 1080 from 24, 30, 60, and 120 frames a second. The big thing about the M6 Mark II versus like the M50 or the M50 Mark II is in 4K. Number one, it doesn't crop anymore. This is an APS-C sensor, but there's no additional crop. And number two, it shoots dual pixel autofocus in 4K. It does. The M50 doesn't do that. The M50 crops in 4K, and it doesn't shoot dual pixel, so the autofocus is just not great. You're gonna basically gonna want to manual focus it. On this one, you don't have to do that. You're gonna get the same great autofocus you get on the big cameras, because it's dual pixel. It has it has eye tracking and face, obviously, and all that. It's dual pixel autofocus, so it's excellent. The autofocus is excellent on this camera. The 4K video is excellent. The 1080 is really good on this camera too. This is another one like the EOS R. Has really good 1080, but the 4K is outstanding on this camera. And the file sizes are manageable. They're 120 megabits a second is what it puts out in 4K. So, but and here's the thing. I know they're going to kill off the EFM line, or these EFM cameras. They're going to. I mean, you can see the writing on the wall, and it makes sense for Canon. You know, it does. I mean, to put everything into the RF mount. And that way, it's more cost effective, and it allows them to concentrate on just one mount instead of having multiple mounts. So it makes sense, you know. And but there's plenty of lenses already out there, and they haven't killed it yet. They're still selling the M50 Mark II, so they still got that selling, and they still got lenses. But they will eventually. I mean, the writing's on the wall. But here's my theory on that. So what? So what? These cameras are cheap, especially now, you know. And the lenses, you buy your lenses, you know, whatever you're going to use it for. Most people probably vlogging, to be honest with you, like the M50 is a real popular vlogging camera, would be vlogging. You get a lens and you run this thing until, you know, whenever. Like I said, it's got excellent 4K, it's got excellent autofocus, pretty good in low light for an APS-C camera, from what I've seen. And it's cheap enough, you know. Bob's your uncle, man. You can get deals out there right now. Makes a lot of sense. I highly recommend it. And that's why I'm hanging on to mine. I just, you know, I dragged my feet. And the only thing I wasn't sure if I was going to do was buy that 11 to 22 because I have a 10 to 18. And like I told you, I do have the Canon lens adapter for this that I got dirt cheap back a few months after I bought this. I got an incredible deal on that. But anyways, so I got the mount. You know, if I ever want to use EFS glass on this, I can. So that even if they stop making them, so what? They've got tons of glass out there, whether it's their native glass, there's some aftermarket out there. There's actually becoming more and more aftermarket. And there's the EF and EFS glass that you can always adapt to your camera. But for me, that's not an issue because, again, what I'm using it for. the hot shoe thing, like another thing, I kind of like, especially for vlogging, the flip up screen. Now, Canon, if you're listening, I love the tilty flippy screen. Do not ever get rid of that. The tilty flippy screen is the best all around. But for this situation, what makes that flip up screen nice is most of us, if you've ever noticed, especially newer vloggers, you're always looking off to your lens. I mean, to your screen, because on a flip out screen, it's going to be over here. Right? So you're going to look this way. You always see your eyes go, you'll see people's eyes going like that. So they're not like looking at you. With the flip up screen, I'm looking at the screen right now, but because it flips up, my eyes are just going up slightly. So it still looks like I'm looking at you. You know what I mean? Because it's right there. Instead of looking off to the side, I'm right here. But the one issue with that is because the hot shoe is right there in the middle of the camera, usually on flip up screens, the mic will, when you put an external mic on it, it's going to block the screen. Well, the way you get around that is UU-Rig, and other companies make them too, but the one I got is UU-Rig. Makes a hot shoe relocation bracket. Comes a cold shoe, you know, but it relocates the hot shoe from here over here, or the cold shoe, whatever. It's going to be a cold shoe once you relocate it, but it's a hot shoe. It relocates your hot shoe to over here, which puts it out of the way. And because this bracket is made for the M6 Mark II, it doesn't interfere with any of your buttons or dials. You can get to them all, so that's the great thing. And the cool thing is, it gets everything out of the way. Like right now, I've got the, like I said, the Cube panel light on here, the panel mini, and as you can see, it's not blocking anything. And I've got that mounted to the cold shoe, the shoe that's relocated. By the UU-Rig adapter, and it's over here. It's out of the way. I can see my screen. It's not blocking me, but yet I've got it mounted there. And here's the thing: you still can use the other shoe. Like, say you don't care about, say you're going to be shooting from the other side of the camera, so you don't care about the screen flipping this way, and you're just going to be doing it from there. They don't take the shoe away, so you still have two mounting points. But this mounting point is for when you want to get everything out of the way, so you can see the screen when you're vlogging, whether it's a microphone or a light. There's many options. You could even put an extender on and do more, you know, and add more things, like a mic plus this light if you want. I've done that, by the way, and it does work. Now, if you want to, there are other ones too that mount like off to the side. I liked this one because it kept it on top of the camera. But there are other brackets out there for this camera where you can mount, they will put the cold shoe on the side of the camera. So there's options, is what I'm trying to say. And they even make a cage for this camera. They even make a cage for it. So if you're looking for a cage, you know, then you'll have a ton of mounting options. And this bracket cost me $12. It was $11.99. Shipped to my house, so it's dirt cheap. You know, it's a dirt cheap solution. But yeah, so that fixed the one issue, right? That's the one issue that you would have with a flip-up screen. Fixed it. So now I'm left with a great vlogging camera that does excellent 4K, super lightweight, and, you know, you bring it around with you. It's a decent camera. It seems to be pretty durable, you know. I wouldn't go throwing it off a cliff or anything, but you know what I mean. It hasn't given me a lick of problems. It's got the 4K, you know. So if you want to shoot 1080, you can, but if you want to step up to 4K, it's there. You can't beat it. I think it's just a great value. It really is. And if you look at them right now, you'll find sales out there. So I would highly recommend, if you're interested in this at all, just hunt down sales, because you'll find them out there. And these cameras are on sale pretty cheap. You can get body only pretty cheap on sale. You can get the package deal, and that's on sale right now. So just hunt around, you know, because they're out there, and they'll get better and better as Christmas gets closer. Now, if I was going to buy for the first time, say like I didn't have any of this, maybe I probably would buy the R10 or the R7, I don't know, you know what I mean? But being that I've got all those other cameras and I already had this, it just was a hard deal to pass up. But if you don't have a ton of money and you're looking for a decent camera to get started, I highly recommend it. It's a great camera. It really is. For the money, you can't beat this camera. And again, I got the Cube panel mini. I believe I got a video on my channel So if you want to know more information about it, if not, if you can't find it or you want to know more information, let me know and I'll make another video on it if you want. But I think like this together is great. I mean, right now, like I'm in my room, excuse the mess behind me, but I'm in my room and I've only got one light on above, so it's pretty dim. This panel, turn it on, kick it up a little bit. You know, I wanted to test out. This is great. I think, like I said, I think I'm at like 35, 40%, which it's too bright. It's got me squinting, but it works great. And that shows you, you know, it goes all the way to 100%, goes down to 1%. You can adjust the white balance all over the place. It's really got a ton of options. It's got a little LCD readout on the back of it. It's a great item that I highly recommend. It's small. It's about the size of a credit card. It's obviously thicker, but so the crumpsets, it's really not much bigger than a credit card, you know, that way. I think it's got 82 LEDs in it, I believe. It comes with a diffuser, you know, that a rubber diffuser that goes on it that helps you. So anyways, I thought when I bought it, I thought it was a great deal, and I still do. And so this is it. I'm going to stop pushing my camera away because I'm thinking I got too many and I'm guilty and I got to sell them. No, I'm going to keep what I got. I don't plan on buying anything else anytime soon. I'm going to keep what I got. I've got amazing cameras. I got to start using them. That's my problem. And you know what? I mean, if you're a camera geek or a gear geek, I've seen a lot of guys. They have tons of cameras on like YouTube watching camera guys, you know. So, and as I said, this fits a niche for me. That honestly, I got a bunch of full frame cameras, but I didn't have an APS-C ultralight camera that I could grab and throw in my bag and take off or throw in my car or bring with me if I just wanted a small light camera to do this, to vlog, or even to take some quick photos or whatever, you know? And I didn't want to bring all my expensive gear. Throw the M6 Mark II in it with its 32.5 megapixel sensor, Digigate processor. Does great. Does a great job. Like, I've never had any problems with it. I've used it for time lapse. I used it a little bit when I first got it, obviously, and I never had an issue with it. It's always just run. It's a great camera. It's got the same internals as the 90D. So, anyways, I'm not going to keep rambling on. I wanted to test this out, and I just wanted to show you guys. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and just, you know, post them below. I'll be more than happy to answer. And if I'm squinting, I apologize. It is bright. I should have turned it down, but, you know, I don't want to change it, have the white balance fluctuate now that I've already done it. And I'm almost done with the video anyway, so. But if you have any questions, please feel free to post them down below. And again, I highly recommend this camera if you're looking for a cheap alternative, you know, to add to your kit, or a vlogging camera or whatever. M6 Mark II, I highly recommend it over the M50 for the simple fact is this can shoot 4K with dual pixel autofocus and no crop on that APS-C sensor. The M50 does not have dual pixel autofocus in 4K, and it crops in on the sensor for 4K. This one does not. So that, you can't beat that. You know, this, in my opinion, is a much better deal. And it allows you to grow. So even if you wanted to film 1080 right now, you're not ready to move up, that's fine. When you are ready to move up, this camera will allow you to grow because it shoots 4K. The M50, number one, it crops, so you've got that problem to deal with, and you already have a crop sensor to begin with, and then the autofocus sucks in 4K. Not in 1080, it has dual pixel autofocus in 1080 like this. But in 4K, Canon just put a contrast-based autofocus in it, and it's not a good one. So, anyways, I highly recommend this, guys. I am going to go for real this time. I'm not going to keep boring you. I highly recommend the M6 Mark II for this. Anything else, first camera, highly recommend it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. You take care, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.